Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am sharing 2 Christmas cards with you guys. I am only using one stamp set from Hello Bluebird for all my images, and this one is Oh Christmas Tree. Because I am going to color with my Zig color real brush markers, I am stamping these out onto Strathmore Bristol smooth cardstock with Gina K Design Amalgam ink. And I am going to color with my Zigs. I will list them down below, but what I do is I trace the edges of my images and where I think that there should be some more shadow going on, and then I take my blender to blend it all out and make it a bit more soft, so that I have really soft images this time for my cards. So as my colors are listed below, I will put on some music and I will be back after all the coloring is done. Onto my first card, I am using the Treehouse scene from Hello Bluebird for the background. And I am first going to add some Evergreen Bough onto my sky and snow. So therefore I am only blending it on the edges of my snow and on the edges of the sky. And as soon as I'm happy with the blending, I will splatter some Evergreen Bough on top of the pieces which are forming the sky. So now onto my Treehouse, therefore I am using brush Corduroy distress ink, and I am blending it starting on the edges, and then I'm just blending it out towards the middle of this Treehouse. I'm trying to keep it quite rough because a tree is not one color evenly spread, it's more bulky and stuff like that. So now onto the splattering, as I told you before. So I'm just taking a tiny paintbrush to splatter this color around. This scene is die cut from Neenah 110 because it is easy to blend on, I guess. And now I am going to add some more details onto the house, just keeping it simple, using white, not any fancy colors or anything like that. So also out of Neenah 110, and I'm going to add it onto this Treehouse using Gina K Design Connect Glue. Next up, I can start assembling the card. So I took an American size card base and I decided to add everything on top of it. Therefore, I am using some liquid glue as well. This way I can fiddle a bit with the placement, making sure that everything is straight. And I am also using my permanent Pritt adhesive roller to help me put the rest in place, combining the two adhesives. Next up, it is time to decide which sentiment I am going to use, and therefore I am using the Scripty Xmas from Mama Elephant. Now I am placing it down in my Misty so that I can stamp it multiple times and make sure that it is stamped out correctly. So taking again that Gina K Design Amalgam ink and stamping it out onto my card. Now I can start with adhering all the other elements. Therefore, I'm using a combination of liquid glue as well as some thin foam squares to get some more dimension going on. Time for the embellishment, so I'm using some glossy accents from Ranger, and I'm first trying it out onto a scrap piece to make sure that there are no air bubbles inside of it. And I will also be using the Nuvo crystal drops, simply white, because you can make it look like snow. So I'm adding it onto the tree, onto the places where snow can be lying on top of it. And as final details, I am adding some Stickels diamond color, and that will finish off my card. I really hope that you like this card design. If you have more time, I also have a second card for you to see, so stick around, and any questions you can leave them down below and I will answer as quick as possible. Onto my second card, therefore I am using the Winter Woods overlay. I die cut it from Neenah and decided to poke everything out, which is the sky. If I would do this again, I would not do this at all. I would die cut it twice, poke it out of one, and leave everything inside of the other so that I could just blend the whole sky on top of it. And then add that white overlay on top of it. But for now, I fiddled. But it turned out okay. It took me a while, but I'm speeding it through a bit for you guys to keep it more pleasant. But I'm adding mild lavender on all the pieces that are resembling the sky. And for the bigger piece, which is going more towards the bottom of the card, I will be fading it out into the white so that it can resemble as fading into snow itself to stand on. But that you will see in a moment. Now I am going to do the same as in my previous card. I am going to splatter some color all around the pieces of the sky, but not with mild lavender distress oxide ink, because I did it here but you barely can see it, so I decided to also do the shaded lilac on top of it, and it will only be really subtle, but I really wanted to add some splatters on top of it. And now I can add my sentiment on top of this overlay. So I'm using the Deck the Halls, and of course I am stamping it out using the same ink as my background, being the mild lavender. And now I can assemble everything. Therefore I am using my permanent Pritt adhesive roller, and I will also be using my liquid glue for the little spots that I need to fill in. Trimming down the excess of the card base. As you can see, this took me a while, so next time just die cut it twice and I will be overlaying the trees in white afterwards. So now I can start assembling my card. So I am using some liquid glues as well as some tin foam squares to get the dimension again, and then I will finish it off with some embellishments as well. As in my previous card, I am also using Stickels Diamond to add some more shimmer on top of the hats and scarves. And then of course the star should be shining as well. And then my glossy accent for the light balls once more, and also for the balls in the tree. And that finishes off my card. I really hope that you like this card design as well. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. Thank you so much for stopping by. See you next time. Bye!